Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Story Society of Iowa end of summer bash. We are so happy you're here with us. Settle in with your questions that you might have for us, and we'll see you in just a moment.
When I think people, when I dig, when I we love everybody, but they do as we please. Rather by those fun, eager fishing, or swimming in the sea. We're always happy, life's for living, that's a one for those to be. In the summertime, down by the beside, you can set your time, down the chance of the sky. Round by the front, you got them and you got women on your mind.
So cute.
So cute. Thank you, Heather. And welcome everyone to our end of summer blast. Much like when you get back to school for the first day and your teachers ask you to write a one-page essay about what you did this summer, consider that this for our Story Society. Plus just what we love about summer in general. Some of it, of course, related to our beloved state of Iowa. Let's do a quick round around our little Brady Bunch square here. So introduce our Story Society members for our viewers. How about everyone tell us your favorite summer treat and what you're here, what you've got going on, what you'd like to promote to our watchers tonight. Heather, why don't you go first?
Yeah. So I'm Heather Goodenkoff, and my favorite summer treat has got to be watermelon. I am always on the search for the perfect watermelon. I eat as much as I possibly can in the summer because I know it's not going to last very long, at least the good ones. So that's my summer treat. My latest book, Everyone is Watching, came out last winter, late winter, and that's been doing still some things with that, which has been a lot of fun. It's a little bit of a different book for me, but it has been fun. And I am just finishing up my 11th novel. I had told myself I was going to be done today. I am not done today. So hopefully in the next week or so, and that will come to readers. It'll be a good year at least before that hits the shelves. But progress, people, progress.
How about you, Tracy?
Hi, I'm Tracy Garvis Graves, and my favorite summer treat is also watermelon, but I have other things that I love almost as much as watermelon. Dairy Queen, I like to have at least a blizzard or two and a twist cone. Big fan of s'mores and really into grapefruit sparkling water. I drink many cans of that. I finally gave up Diet Pop a few years ago. I do not have a copy of my book handy with me. It's over there on the bookshelf. So I will just remind everyone that my last book, The Trail of Lost Hearts, came out in March.
Oh, look at that.
I have, yeah.
Thank you, Story Society sister, for having my back in my book. I'm going to be on Hello Iowa on September 9th, and we're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to unveil the trade paperback cover for The Trail of Lost Hearts on the show. So if you want to see it, if you're local and you want to see it before everybody else, tune in on September 9th. I'm going to be doing a fall books preview, not of my own books, but of other people's books that you should definitely check out this fall. And I am hard at work on book number 11. That's pretty much what I've been doing all summer. So if you wonder why I'm never on social media anymore, that's why. I'm trying to finish it. And it's different. It's a different book. And if you were one of the 11 people that followed my blog back in like 2008, 2009, you might recognize the voice a little bit because it is definitely, my blog used to be called Funny in the Hood. So that is what I'm working on. Don't know if it'll be a book, but that's what I'm working on so far. So
fun. How about you, Kim?
I'm Kim Stewart. I have some books that I wrote, and one of them came out in April. It's this one. I'm ready this time. Star for Jesus and Other Jobs I Quit. It's a book about grace with all sorts of embarrassing stories about me and my family. And if you let a book be out in the wild long enough, then eventually the family members, some of them read it. And so finally my progeny have, mostly. The one who hasn't just was launched last week to college. We launched another one yesterday to college, and I am in a coma of exhaustion right now. So you can say anything you want to or about me tonight. I'll forgive all of it. My favorite summer treat, I would have to say I have two. So we go up to Northwest Iowa quite a bit in the summer. The first is a go to buy treat is a nutty bar at the Nutty Bar stand in Arnold's Park, unparalleled. The second is if we don't leave the house and we make the treat. And actually, my daughters are in charge of this. They have become very good at baking in Northwest Iowa. Maybe it's otherwise too, but at our little fairway up there, you can buy. There's a particular brand of cookie dough that is preformed into cookies. Put them in the oven for 11 minutes, not 1 minute more. Let them cool a little bit on the rack, and then you put your own Tillamook ice cream between those two cookies and proceed to the celestial heavens. So
Nice. You're good. Nicole?
Well, my treat has already been said. The Dairy Queen and the watermelon and all of the things. Peanut butter cups. I love s'mores. They're one of my favorites, but I have to have peanut butter cups in my
that's legit.
Oh, they're so good. But last year, my husband and I went to France and Italy for a couple of weeks in May, leading into June. And I fell in love with lemon cream gelato. And I learned how to make it this summer.
Good girl.
Guys, it's divine. I'll link the recipe.
I love it.
Yeah, I tried all these different recipes. It's like, it's not a sorbet, but it's not quite an ice cream. It's kind of somewhere in between. It's creamy and it's lemon, and it's just absolutely divine. So I'll link that.
I'm taking notes of all these things. So if we ever do actually have a writing retreat, I would like ice and gelato.
It's a deal. And you have to have a little vanilla wafer with it. It just kind of so good. So yeah, my name is Nicole Bart. I have written 11 books. I don't have my most recent one with me either. It's called The Long Way Back.
And you know what? My sister has a copy of The Long Way Back, so I don't have that to share, but I have everything we didn't say.
Thank you. Just so you know, Heather takes care of us all. Like, she keeps us all in line. I'm kind of a hot mess. I don't know what I'd do without these ladies, but yeah. So that was my book. I turned my new book, my 12th book, into my editor about 3-4 weeks ago. Yay! So I'm waiting on pins and needles to hear from her. I haven't yet because the entire publishing industry shuts down in August. It's like, we just don't work in August. So anyway, hopefully good news about that soon. And that will be coming out November of next year.
Yay.
Good. All right, Callie.
So I'm Callie Wyatt Binbali. I have 3 published novels, and I just finished editing a book of essays. I'm a managing editor at large for an essay journal, and we got a book deal this year to publish an anthology of it. So I just got done really on the editorial side, which was kind of new for me this summer. I'm, of course, forever trying to finish the next novel, which is never done. I don't even really want to talk about it at this point. And I kind of took the summer off. I also teach, so I was very tired and burned out, and I just took some time off.
You had a real summer vacation.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't work very much, and several people mentioned Dairy Queen and Blizzards. I ate a lot of those. But my favorite summertime treat it's from my grandmother. It's fried pumpkin blossoms. I don't know if any of you have ever had those before.
What?
So in the morning, you pick the pumpkin flowers when they're in full bloom off the vines, and you cut them in half and clean them up, and then dip them in water and cornmeal and then fry them up. And it was my grandma's favorite, one of her favorite summer things to make. I loved them growing up. I still love them. Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either.
We were all hedonists, Callie. Every one of us were like, chocolate, cookies. You're like, fried squash blossoms with extra water for hydration.
They look weird, but they're actually quite delicious in the summer. So.
I'm intrigued. And I'm Julie Stone. My last book came out, I don't even know. He's with the band. And that is my last book. I did just turn in a new book a couple weeks ago to my agent, which is also a new take for me, similar to Tracy. So we'll see what comes of that. I write a weekly Substack, kind of Gen X, a little bit shake my fist, get off my lawn. Things were better back then, but I digress about that.
And the name of your Substack?
Musings from the Midsection, which
The
is a
best.
reference
It's a
to sort
great name.
of midlife and also, living
I
in
know.
the midsection of the country.
Oh, I was thinking my midsection.
Oh, and also, yes, speaking of my midsection, I am a Dairy Queen. I enjoy the peanut butter parfait. However, I take the peanuts out and put peanut butter in.
Oh.
There's a little handy tip.
Little
for
pro
you.
tip.
Little
Pro midsection tip.
Yep. That is my I have to stop. Like eventually when they know your name and they know your order, then
Gotta take a break.
That's a break for a while for me. So, and just a reminder to everybody watching, we are going to be everyone's going to be giving away a copy of their book. And the best way, or the only way, to enter is to make sure you're commenting and interacting. If you have questions, please post those in the comments. Callie's watching for those.
I am. And Catherine Smith Cagle asked, "Can you use squash blossoms?" The answer is yes.
Ooh.
You just have to pick them in the morning when they're fully open.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I did not know that there was a difference in size of squash block. You're educating us all.
That's all I got. That's the limit of my knowledge of everything.
I don't agree with that. You're very smart. Okay, we're going to start out with a little lightning round summer theme of just a this or that for everyone. So I'm going to throw it out there, and whoever wants to start can start. So summer, keeping cool, beach or pool?
Beach.
Pool.
Everyone? I'm pool.
Heather's a pooler.
I'm a pool.
Okay, two pools.
Yeah. I don't like that sand getting everywhere.
Yeah.
It's true. It's dicey.
Too.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I have covering for my umbrella of some sort for this.
For your
also, Heather, I just spotted your sister Jane in the comments.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
We spotted our first family member.
Okay, if you're going on vacation, is it a road trip or are you flying?
Flying.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Julie, you're my person.
I know you're my person.
You're even wearing the same shirt.
We are. We are wearing our little story.
You're united. I wanted to wear mine, but because of my age and how warm I am these days, that thing is 3/4 sleeves. I am doing everyone a favor by having clothes on right now because it was so hot today.
It is ridiculously.
Halfway through, I'm turning off these lights. It's going to be dark. I'll still be here, but I'll be sweating in the dark. What was the question? Road trip. Yeah.
Road trip. Road trip or flying?
I mean, here I'm going to just be a million years old, okay? I like a good road trip. Typically, I love to fly for the efficiency, but I have gotten caught in so many airports in the last 6 months, not able to go anywhere. I'm leaning towards the car. Never thought I'd say it. And Dramamine.
I have had so many bad flying experiences. Obviously, if you have to fly, I'll fly. But I'm getting back to the old school.
To the roots.
Yeah. Well, you can bring whatever you want. The world is your oyster if you can drive. You can bring anything.
It's true.
Your own pillow, because we're old now. I don't want to get kinky because I have a wanky pillow.
I know. This is getting depressing, and I am getting that old to want my own pillow. Oh my gosh.
All right, so if you're on I guess you get treats in the airport too. So if you're getting road trip food or flying food, are you going salty or are you going sweet?
Both.
Yeah, you can't
balance
have the other because you have to
toggle. Yeah. Twizzlers are my favorite road trips.
Oh, what are those?
What do you have there, Heather?
Heather's got him with her.
What is that?
They are Skippy PB bites. You find them in the peanut butter aisle, and they have several different flavors. And I can tell you that they are the best little chocolatey treat, peanut buttery treat in the world.
I've never even seen them.
I've never seen such a thing.
They're in the peanut butter aisle, and they're so they're right by the peanut butter.
Oh, they're healthy. They're good for us.
Sure.
Of course they are. They have quite a bit of protein, actually. We won't look at the sugar.
Peanut butter. That's how you justify it.
That's how you know.
Really good, and they're really good in the freezer.
Okay,
Oh,
then.
very nice. Very nice. Okay. I already know. I kind of feel like I know what everyone's going to say here. Are you going camping or are you going glamping, which can include a hotel or a fancy camping situation? Any
Glamping.
campers?
I'm camping.
Not built for camping.
Yeah.
Callie and Nikki, you're both camping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that about you. Callie, I know that you have a long history of camping at the Iowa State Fair.
That
Do
is
you
not
want-
camping. That is
Right.
I just want to see your reaction because I want to hear you talk.
I love when you talk about it.
That is not technically camping. That is a legal obligation because I'm married.
Oh my gosh, that's the best. It gives me a lot of
Michelle
joy.
Vrabel. For me, camping is a hotel without a blow dryer.
Yes, I like that.
Michelle.
That's good.
Oh, it's the
Oh,
best.
that is good. And Nicole, like, are we talking like tent on the ground, or are we talking like some sort of RV situation?
Yeah, you know what? Not an RV, but we have a tent trailer. Like, do you know those old pop-up ones?
Oh yeah,
So
sure.
we have an old pop-up tent trailer that we've taken like all over the country, and I love it. Like,
That's
I get
awesome.
out and it just feels like my kid's childhood. Is that a thing? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, ours too.
Yeah.
Like taking our kids out in the camper. Yeah.
Well, and I grew up camping. My dad at one point bought an old school bus and rehabbed it into a camper, and every single time we took it, something went dramatically
Wrong.
I remember the last time we took that thing somewhere, the headlights went out, and my mom had to sit on the bus stairs with a flashlight and shine it on the side of the road so that we
could see where to go. That's
and
epic.
we were all, my sister and I were sent to our bunks so as not to cause any trouble. Wow.
Any distraction. Yes.
And
Oh,
that
that's
was, I
awesome.
think that might have been the grand finale of my camping career. I don't believe I ever camped after that.
Oh my God.
I don't tent camp anymore. I don't think my back could take sleeping on the ground.
Here we go. Age.
Menopause, like I gotta have climate
Your
control.
pillows.
I mean,
Yep.
I'm willing to pull my camper like up into the mountains in the middle of in nowhere and be off the grid, but I still have to be indoors with temperature control.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that feels doable to me.
Yeah.
I think mostly it's the bugs. I'm not even a scary bug person. We lived in Latin America for a while and we know about very large spiders, but I don't really want, I don't like snakes. And so if I have any fear that they're going to be near me and my vulnerable body, no. But if there's climate control, I bet there's snake control.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sign me up for that.
Catherine Smith-Cagle asked you a good question. Do you use the camper you have as the camper in your book?
oh, that's a great question. No, it's based on that because we used to go, well, we've taken the camper a couple of times from Iowa all the way to British Columbia and back. And after my daughter came home from Liberia, we did that for an entire month. Where we hit like as many state parks as we could. And you guys, I had a cooler because we're poor. We have a bunch of young kids, right? But I had a cooler that I had cooked all these meals in and then froze them and then layered them so that we would take
As
out
they
the first
defrosted.
one as they defrosted. So, oh, this is crazy. I can't believe that. With
You
four
are
kids,
so organized, Nicole.
we could pop that thing up in like 10 minutes. It was just it
Wow.
was a sight to behold. But no, I would love to have a vintage Airstream trailer. So that's where the book idea came from. I kind of took our experience and then turned it into if only I could, because I'm the coolest. Yeah.
Which is the beauty of writing fiction, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Julie,
Yes.
Mary Stonebreaker has entered the chat.
Welcome, Mary.
I assume meaning sent you all to your bunks in trouble.
No, she held the flashlight, I believe.
Oh,
is where
yes,
is,
she
where
did.
She is. Oh, there she goes.
Ask Julie about camping with her sister after consuming many s'mores.
Yes.
Oh, Mary, we love when you are here. Julie, are you pleading the fifth, or can you tell us something having to do
I
with
was
your
a small
GI
child
tract?
and was not, regular. Someone should have been watching as I ate
Mary.
almost an entire bag of roasted marshmallows.
Oh,
Tent camping in Baraboo, Wisconsin. And in the middle of the night, my stomach
dear.
did not enjoy the s'mores. and I rolled over, and my sister was the recipient. And there was no shower where we were camping. So my dad just hauled us down to the lake with some Johnson's baby shampoo and washed us up.
Oh, good heavens.
Yes. Yeah, that's the story there.
Well, you know we want Mary to keep that coming.
Yeah.
Mary, we're watching your comments.
Activity-filled vacation or R&R? Sitting around or learning?
All the
but I also don't want to go. Like I like a good even mix. I like to have an activity or something to look forward to, but then I like to have a lot of downtime.
Same.
I'm a joy to travel with, I assure you. Ask my friend.
That sounds perfect to me.
Travel with me.
No, don't ask him. I am a pain.
I think you're not a pain if you are aware of the pain.
Yes.
I think that if you are self-aware, we're great. Also, I think a mix is awesome. I think a mix is awesome too. I can't sit for a whole whatever. Go do stuff.
I am on, we just were in Cincinnati for a work thing for my husband. And my thing is the passport stamps for the national parks. Do you know about this?
Oh, yes.
I have a passport book.
Yeah.
So whenever I pull up the app and I'm like, we're only 17 minutes from the William Taft.
Oh, good job.
It's awesome.
We got it too. And the water bottle where you can stick the sticker on your water bottle when
Wow,
you visit
you
the
guys.
park.
Yeah, I very much
Very
would like,
nerdy.
if someone at my funeral does not list how many stamps I got before I died, I
Okay.
will be very
I will
Noted.
make sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Did you say you went to the William Taft what?
Historical house.
Okay.
It's downtown Cincinnati.
Was it as great as you're making it sound?
Absolutely.
Okay, Taft.
Did you know that William Taft was our largest president?
I do. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
kids
that was
memorize strange facts. Yeah, he was rather robust.
You mean large, like
Yeah, like 300. He was the largest, 360 pounds is what he topped out at during his presidency. And a little less flamboyant fact is that he was also a Supreme Court justice. The only one.
Really?
He was our only president and Supreme Court justice. Look at us educating the people.
I mean, we're here to serve.
you're welcome.
You're here to
You're
serve.
very welcome.
We're here to
You can
heckle.
all know that in trivia facts.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Just a reminder, everyone, to keep asking questions and putting in some comments. We are eventually going to get to our summer bingo discussion. Hopefully, we have some bingo players on with us tonight. Okay, anybody want to start out with your favorite summer memory, either as a parent or as a child? Anything come to mind? I've already shared one of mine, so I'm going to pass on this.
The s'mores? That's your favorite? Cool.
Well, it's not my favorite, but I feel like, I'm going to give everybody a break from me for a minute.
It's notable.
Oh, I just loved, being at home, either, as a teacher, as an educator for so many years, was able to have a little bit of time off in the summer with my own kids, which was always really fun. So we'd go swimming and for hikes and just to be able to hang out at the house and read. And same as a kid, it's like, oh my gosh, I get all these hours of uninterrupted time to read. So those were my highlights for my summers.
How about you, Tracy?
I was thinking about this earlier today. The only thing that really stands out to me, I'm going to have a lot of individual summertime memories of both my childhood and then when my children were younger. But I think the thing I like the most cherished memory about vacation, summertime in general, summer vacation, whatever, was just that as a Gen Xer, I was allowed to have absolutely feral summer vacations.
Yes.
I don't think anybody knew where I was. I don't think anybody was worried about me. We really did drink from the hose. We came in when the streetlights came on. We built forts in anything you could build a fort in. I mean, if there was a tree next to another tree, we built a fort around it. If we could find scrap plywood, we put it on a couple of skateboards and we rode down a really long, steep street. I mean, we just did. Nobody cared. And I look upon that very fondly. Mm-hmm. So it was fun to be Gen X in the summer. It really was.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree. I was just at a my little small town where I grew up. Everyone goes back for the Pine Lake Festival, and we were talking about. Did you all play flashlight tag growing up?
Oh,
All of
yes,
that.
yeah.
Goes to the graveyard, everything. Kick the can.
And so we were talking about next year at this festival that we're going to try to get like an alumni flashlight tag game
Oh,
going.
that's awesome.
I can imagine that at least somebody's going to tear an ACL. We don't run away anymore.
There's going to be an injury.
There'll be an injury. But,
That's so great.
it may seem more not like one of those things better in thought than in practice, but
So
Julie,
awesome.
Catherine asked how many concert tees you own.
oh boy. Well, so another here. I own a lot, Catherine. Thanks for asking. I am collecting concert tees to make a quilt if ever I have to go to the nursing home.
Okay.
To show how
want to
cool
be
you
prepared.
were.
So I always,
Or you just want a proof of how cool you were? So that
Yeah, well, or probably so I can make everyone hear about all of the, concerts. I had a good concert run this summer. In 3 weeks, I saw Rick Springfield, and then Barry Manilow, which was amazing, and then Foreigner and Melissa Etheridge together. So
Wow.
3 weeks, 3 concerts, and then I got COVID.
Oh, well, I think it's worth it for the quilt.
Yes, it's all doing it for the.
Yeah. it's all
Kim,
for the
what's
quilt.
your favorite summer memory, vacation or otherwise? Summer vacation.
I'm with Heather that I was the nerd that all I wanted was my front porch swing and a stack of books from the Urbandale Public Library. That's really what I wanted, and for people to just leave me alone. So that was great. That's actually kind of still true. Just live in a different house.
That might be the title of your next memoir. I just want
Just leave me
people to
alone.
leave me alone.
That has some legs. I'm gonna write that one down. I love summer. I love the unfettered nature of summer. Oh, Tracy, I hear you with the see you come back. I loved going to see my grandparents up in Northwest Iowa, and my grandmother, first of all, she would make breakfast, which is something we didn't do in our house, and we would assemble breakfast, but no one was cooking in the morning, and Grandma made pancakes every morning and eggs and bacon, and then she'd say, okay, see you at the noon whistle. And my brother and I would tootle around for doing I don't even know what, and she didn't either. But when the noon whistle would sound, we'd come home on the banana seat bikes, and then she'd do it again and say, okay, come home at the 5 o'clock whistle, and we'd do that. It was the most amazing thing. And then my grandpa had soldered together 2 empty oil drums and set it out in their yard, filled them with sand. And then there was this massive, massive oak tree onto which he attached this very long, very thick rope. At the bottom, we call it the cookie swing because it was kind of shaped like an octagon, kind of like a cookie. And we would pull that thing up. We would climb a ladder to the top of the barrels, tuck that thing under our tush, and let go and swing all the way up. We always tried to hit the electrical lines with our feet. We never did that. Everyone's safe. But I think of that now and think I'm sure some litigation person would absolutely hate it. It was the best thing ever. We loved the cookie swing. So I'd say anything unfettered, unbound, loved it. It was so great.
Yep.
Agree. How about you, Nicole?
So many of the same memories. We had a sack swing that my grandpa put up. Same thing. It was just an old flour sack, or not
I
flour,
love
grain
it.
sack filled with hay, I guess, and the biking and the front porch and that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you, one of my favorite memories was after my husband and I were married. This was before kids, but we were living in the Vancouver, British Columbia area, and we were poor as church mice. So in the summertime, when we had a free weekend, we would throw everything in the back of our little hatchback Toyota Corolla and take off into the mountains, and logging trails everywhere, right? Like there's all these kind of gravel dirt roads that take off into the mountains, and we didn't want to camp in a park or anything. So we would just take off until we found a spot that we liked. So one weekend we're bush camping in the middle of BC, and we're on this, there's a river beside us, and we're on kind of this pebble beach, but we were maybe 20 to 30 feet away from the water. Well, I wake up in the middle of the night, which is kind of crazy because I was young. I didn't have to wake up in the middle of the night, but I did. And step my foot outside the tent and realize that it's been raining. And not only has it been raining, but it must have been pouring higher in the mountains because I stepped my foot outside our tent into water.
Oh,
The
dear.
river had come up like 20, 30 feet and was
Oh,
whitewater rapids beside our tent. So I quick woke up my husband. It's like 3:00 in the morning. We both grabbed that tent and yanked it back into the trees as far as we
oh
could.
my
But
gosh.
if we had woken up, we probably would have been swept downstream.
Away.
To me, so this is before you were writing domestic thrillers, obviously, because I
Yeah.
don't. How do you write about such things and then go off on a random trail into the woods and spend the night? Those
Yeah.
two
Oh,
things.
right.
Pretty good.
Here's the funny thing is this actually factors into my next book.
Yes.
Oh,
It's called A Theory of Infinite Worlds, and there's a storm, and it rains more upstream than it does down, which can take people by surprise in the mountains. So
yes. Well, I don't know that because I'm a Flatlander, but I believe you.
Flatlander.
How about you, Callie?
So I was like Tracy. I had an like, when I say feral childhood, I mean no supervision. From the minute I woke up, my parents were out working on the farm.
Oh yeah,
often
you
on
are a farm
tractors.
kid. There's a different kind of feral to farm.
Yeah,
kids.
and so I spent a lot of my childhood with my cousins in the summertime, just walking creeks like for miles and miles, and we would never tell anyone where we went. We just went. And like one time my brother sliced his foot open on some tin in the middle of the creek. We were miles from anywhere, so a couple of us hiked up to the gravel road and flagged a car down to take us,
Totally.
I don't know, to a phone. Like, didn't cross our minds. Like, no big deal. And we're
We just
all still here. But those were really fun summers. Very dangerous. I would have an absolute stroke if any of my children had summers like that. But it was very fun growing up.
Yeah.
And you did write a novel about child abduction. So
I did.
sometimes this is all
I manifested some serious anxiety.
you guys
about
are
it.
making so much more sense to me as your friends.
There it is. Like I saw it.
I wrecked my bike on a gravel road one time and like just skinned all like my shoulder, everything.
Ah.
Two lovely old ladies just happened to be driving by, picked me up, put my
Sure.
bike in the back of the trunk and drove me home.
And
Like,
I'm
I did
sure
that
they
for
were
all
like,
the
"Now, who's your dad? Who's your mom?"
That's right.
No,
What's your
they
last
were
name?
And they
exactly
were,
right.
oh yeah, we know. We'll take her home. I have to read this comment though. Kim, this is from Molly Breedlove.
Molly.
Kim doesn't talk to others on the front porch. Girl left me stranded in crazy conversation at her neighbors. There's a story here.
I cannot tell that story.
Listen, I know
Molly?
the vomit story. You can tell this.
Oh my heavens. Molly one time, I cannot believe you sent me up for this. All of these people are still living. So I will just say that sometimes I'm very good at moonwalking out of a conversation that I don't want to be in. I'm real good at it. It's a practiced habit, and I can teach you all my tricks sometime if you want to talk to me privately.
Perfect.
I
That's all.
love that. Moonwalking. I think I'm slowly backing out the door.
Slowly.
When
Yeah.
I sense I don't need to be here right now. I just
Nope, that's what happened.
out the door. Yeah.
That is hilarious. We sort of talked about this, but what's something you miss about summers from your childhood or teenage years? Anybody want to start?
Oh, sun. Like
Oh.
being able to be in the sun. Like as a middle-aged woman, apparently I can't ever be in the sun for any reason anymore.
And I remember those, like, you slather on the Hawaiian Tropics,
Baby oil,
like 1 to 5, and all you did was cook yourself in the sun.
like a rotisserie chicken
Yeah.
out of the lake.
Totally.
Mhm.
No, I can't even like go get my mail and like all burn.
Right into the car to the dermatologist for a check.
Yeah.
Totally. This is my husband, Mark. He is Norwegian. And so he'll go out. He honestly will say, 13 minutes, gotta go. He's timed it. He thinks he has 13 minutes in him. I have to leave. Well, we're on a boat. You can't leave. There's no leaving. It's longer than 13 minutes to get home. So I don't know. I'm with you, Callie, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
miss
I was
it.
a lifeguard at the local gravel pit, and us
The gravel pits.
Hollow.
Nice.
Like they dug it out post-war. It was one of those like job creation things.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've been told. I don't know if that's urban rural legend. Is that
Yeah.
No one here can
yeah. But as girls, a bunch of girls, teenage girls who did all the lifeguarding, we had like a concession stand, and it was also where the locker rooms were and how people got in and stuff. But we would stand in the concession stand before our shift would start and slather each other in baby oil.
Baby oil, for sure.
Baby oil. Yeah.
Head to toe baby oil. Oh, and lemon juice in our hair.
Yeah, to bleach it. Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
I miss those days. They were fun. I had a great tan.
Yeah.
I think we were all happier. Our vitamin D was like overflowing.
Totally.
We were happy, but every year when I drive to my dermatology appointment now, I'm like, oh, I
Sorry.
hope not to visit.
Yeah. She looks at your face and she's like, oh, I see the summer of 1987 right here on your cheekbone.
Yep.
I have a really good friend. We went to South Padre Island in college, and she got so burned on her chest that it was weeping.
Oh,
right. Remember those sunburns?
no.
Right.
Oh,
And so a few years ago, she had to have something removed, and she named it Padre.
I would for sure. That's so true. Oh,
I this tells a little bit about me, but my favorite part of summer actually was early August when all the back to school stuff. We
yeah.
went to Target or Warehouse Market or wherever.
Ben Franklin, probably.
Ben Franklin, and just to be able to go get the school supply list and get ready for the school year. I love that. And I love that as a teacher. So I think that's why I became a teacher as well. It's just school supplies.
It's awesome.
I was in it
There's
for the school supply.
nothing like a freshly sharpened pencil and a brand new sheet of paper. Oh, chills. Loved it.
Loved it. Anybody here go to sleepaway camp growing up?
Yes.
Did anybody else go to Girl Scout camp?
Yes, here in Iowa, Camp Gaywood.
Camp Sacagawea. And I believe we were in Boone, but I'm not sure. I
Those
went.
are great names, both of them.
My sister, I have a twin sister, and we went to Girl Scout camp. We were probably 11, maybe 10 or 11. I'll have to ask Trish if she remembers. And we got to sleep in teepees. And we thought that was the coolest thing
Living end.
in the world. And it was, except that the teepees had daddy long leg spiders in the inside of them on all of the walls. And that did not work for me for many reasons, because I hate spiders. They terrify me. And we had to sleep with them in our teepee, and I must have blocked it out because I don't know how it was resolved. And they also told us some lore that matched with the constellations that we were looking at. And I remember those stories scared me to death because they were some of the constellations are stories about like hunters and bears and some other things. And I just remember that really scared me. And I thought, what did my parents think? Sending me to this weird camp of spiders, and they're telling us horrible nightmare fuel stories. And I went back the next year, but we didn't do the teepees the next year. It was Girl Scout swim camp. So we swam all the time. My sister came home with swimmer's ear.
Oh no.
I still loved it.
And then did you send your own children to camp despite your teepee experience? You didn't?
No. Well, first of all, they had zero interest. But we did tons of day camps. I didn't feel super jazzed about sending them overnight anywhere. Yeah. Probably my own feral summers. I was like, no, not doing that.
I know what happens there.
Yeah.
So I went to Camp Gaywood, also Girl Scout camp, and I went to Brownie camp. And for some reason, the counselors thought it would be a very cool experience. They taped, remember those suckers that were flavored and then the handle made like a little loop?
Yes, I do.
Suckers.
So they taped them to the leaves of this tree, and then told us that they like came in the night and told us that Tinkerbell had been there, and that we had to go out and get these suckers. And it was supposed to be this big magical experience, but we were like 7 or 8 years old. It immediately turned to, if Tinkerbell's here, then Captain Hook's here. And then we were all terrified.
No.
Plan foiled.
Yes. So whoever came up with that idea, I'm not.
We're sorry. Yeah.
Anybody else? Callie, did you go to overnight camp?
I never went. I sent my oldest son was both my boys were Boy Scouts for a while, and my oldest son went to camp one time, and they had instructions that we had to put each day of clothes in like a Ziploc bag and labeled.
Sure.
And he came home from camp with all the Ziploc bags full. Not one time did that kid change his clothes.
Such a great idea. But
yeah.
I loved camp, loved it. Went to Y Camp, which was so awesome, in Boone as well.
All camps are in Boone.
I think they all are.
I think
And
so.
then I went to a creepy church camp in Ogden, and that took years to unravel. So I'd say stick with Y Camp. My son Mitch, who just headed off to college for a couple of years, he was a camp counselor, and he loved summer camp. Like 4th grade, he went to camp for the first time and just loved it so much. Not in Boone, a different camp, in a different church camp. No unraveling. And he loved it so much. And even as a little kid was like, oh, the best job in the world would be to be a camp counselor, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. I think it's just a horrible decision. But I will say, after watching him do that several years, I should have tipped, like big time tipped, hundreds of dollars tipped, all of the camp counselors that my children had for all those years. We worked it out, and Mitch was earning 67 cents an hour, 67 cents an hour, because it's 24 hours. And there's a lot of vomit. Okay, guys, kids puke. Ask Julie. There's a lot of s'mores. And you know who's cleaning that up? A 17-year-old kid from Des Moines. So I should have tipped. I should go back through all the annals of history and send some gift cards to those camp counselors, because it is a thankless job for way under poverty line. So Godspeed to all of them.
Yeah. No, and my kids did not. Well, they went once, and they both said, please don't ever send us.
Don't make me do that. Yeah.
Don't ever make me do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about what did everyone read this summer?
Oh,
We've talked a little bit about how much people like to not talk to anyone at all and just read. So what'd we read?
I'll jump in because mine's all about summer camp, which we just talked about. Has anybody read The Guide to the Woods by Liz Moore?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
I just started it.
It's so good.
What is it? Hold on. You got a little glare. Something in the woods.
The God of the Woods by Liz Moore.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's about a summer camp in the 1970s, and this rich family that owns it and kind of lives on the grounds. Their son goes missing. Well, actually, their son went missing years ago, and now their daughter goes missing at the camp. So it's a mystery, but it's just very intriguing, told from multiple different storylines. I was wondering what happened throughout the entire book, and the ending was really satisfying. So
good recommendation.
Nicole, did you go to summer camp?
Did I go to summer camp?
Yeah, we jumped over.
No, I didn't, but not as a child. I did as an adult. So my husband has been the keynote speaker at Cascade Family Bible Camp in Warm Beach, Washington for several years, and not consecutively, but he'll do it for 1 year, and then we'll have 3 years off, then we'll go back again. So we grew up, or my kids grew up, going to family camp in Washington State, and
it's beautiful.
It's magical. It's so much fun because you're with your family, and you get to do so many of the activities like with them. So it takes away I don't know, maybe people love going and sleeping away, but I did not want to do that when I was a little girl. Like that scared the life out of me. So all of the fun camp stuff we got to do together, and I loved it. Yeah.
Awesome.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. Very nice. Anybody else? What's anyone else been reading?
I was trying to remember if I've read a book this summer, which is really embarrassing.
You're writing one, so
you're writing one.
I know when I'm writing it, I find it really hard to read. I am reading Henry Winkler's memoir because it's one of the books I'm going to be recommending on Hello, Iowa. And as a longtime lover of the Fonz, has brought me right back to my childhood. So it's an excellent book.
If you follow Henry Winkler on Instagram, he is a very passionate fly fisherman, and it's just pictures of him smiling with a fish.
It's in his book.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about those fish.
That's hilarious.
That's
I
a
wouldn't
great
picture
book.
the fonts with that
He isn't
particular.
wearing the leather coat in any of the pictures.
Sad.
No. It's a good book. I'm not done with it yet, but when I am writing my own books, I can read memoirs and nonfiction. I've decided I want to read about the Romanovs. That's going to be my next session that I want to read about, just because I'm interested in that time period in history and that story.
There are a lot of good books about that.
I looked the other day just to kind of get an idea on Goodreads of how many books there were. So if you have a personal recommendation, or if anyone does on the Romanovs, I'm your girl. I want to read about them.
Cool.
Very cool.
I'm reading, just finished Jodi Picoult's By Any Other Name, which is an amazing, amazing book. So she reimagines or invites readers to decide whether or not that perhaps the voice behind William Shakespeare was really a woman. And she cites sources, and it's really well done. So it's told in dual timelines. A contemporary woman playwright who, for various reasons, stops writing. She loses her spark. She gets very discouraged, and she finds out that she's related distantly to this woman named Emilia Bassano, who lived during Elizabethan England, who some scholars believe is actually the voice behind William Shakespeare, because at the time women weren't able to publish plays. It was against the law. And so really, really excellent book. And Jodi's coming to Des Moines next Friday. She'll be in Des Moines speaking at the Franklin Event Center through Beaverdale Books. So if you want to do that, the website.
Julie and I will be there.
Books website. And then I'm also reading, of course, I have to be reading a thriller. This is called The Bachelorette Party by Cynthia Block, who is one of my favorite thriller writers. And so it's about a young woman who does a bunch of research about a serial killer called the 666 Killer. And she's going on her bachelorette weekend, and some things that relate to that case unfold. So it's really good. This one comes out in early September.
Awesome.
Very nice.
This summer, I read Chris Whitaker's All the Colors of the Dark. I just finished it this week, and I loved it.
Okay.
The main character, Patch, I just loved it. It's super long. I think it's like 600 pages.
Heavens to Betsy.
Yeah, it's a book. It is a doorstop, but it's
a doorstop.
A mystery. It's a serial killer story. It's a love story. I mean, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around what's all in it. And then Heather Diane Rainier said she also read The God of the Woods and loved it, but just read her first Heather Gudenkopf book, The Weight of Silence.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice to hear. Thank you.
And the other book, I'm not giving away one of my own books for this one. I'm going to give away somebody else's. So I read this earlier this summer. This is it's called Sing Her Down, by a writer named Ivy Pacoda. She's LA based, and I met her at a retreat I went to in Puerto Rico in January. And I had never read any of her books. I had heard of her. She's published quite a bit, and she writes thriller mysteries. This book has gotten really popular, and man, it's good. So that's the one I'm going to give away tonight.
Nice. Cool. Very nice. I read the new Carly Fortune. This summer will be different. I don't know if any of you read Carly Fortune. They're just absolutely delightful romance, but a little bit women's fiction. My daughter-in-law and I did a little book club on our fishing vacation. And we did it in a way that I've never done reading book club, in that we sat next to each other on the couch and read up into a certain, then we'd say, okay, we're done at chapter 21 for tonight. And then we would talk about all
I love it.
What we thought was going to happen next. And it was so delightful.
I thought you meant you read aloud to each other.
Oh, no, we did not.
Okay. Did anyone else think that? Okay.
No.
Silent reading, and then you reconnoiter and discuss. Got it.
What was the name of that, Julie?
It was This Summer Will Be Different. And there we go to this fishing camp in Canada. My family has gone there since I was 11. And they're all set in Canada. She's written 3 of them. They all seem to come out right about the time we're going on this vacation every year. So
that's awesome.
It's very delightful.
Well, Catherine Holm just commented, I loved Julie Stone's book, He's with the Band.
Aww.
And that's so nice to hear.
Yes.
Thank you.
I've been reading up a storm. I also, like Callie, I took a vacation this summer from all the things, unplugged everything, unplugged social media, unplugged my own writing, unplugged coaching, unplugged any work-related travel. And it was just what the doctor ordered. It was really great, which meant I could do a lot of reading. First I want to say, you won't always hear this from authors, but guys, we're the honest ones among you, and I'm going to give you all permission that you already have, that if you start a book, no matter how many people have said that they love it, and it is not wetting your whistle, put that thing down. There are too many great books out there. And I will tell you, I had 2 that I started this summer that have been very beloved by critics and have had a lot of buzz. And I could not. One I finished like a dutiful firstborn female. And the second one, but I never got it. I never got the why is everyone so freaked out about this? And the other one, I sure did not. I listened to a chapter and a half and then thought, no, this is not for me. So I'm saying aloud a very non-author thing to say, which is just bail. There are so many out there. Just find the one that fits for you. Mm-hmm. That even includes our books. We aren't offended. So I would say 2 are coming. Well, actually, probably 3 are coming top of the list. I really love Frederick Bachman. I just love him. And I read a much darker version of his writing. The first book in Beartown. Have you guys read Beartown at all?
So good.
Fascinating. I didn't know what to do. I was pacing my house. So really love that.
Mom, it's true. All of it.
What's that?
I'm a hockey mom and it rang.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Oh,
So
Nicole, I have to call you about that because I seriously kept saying, what? So loved that book. The serious and nonfiction and just a holler of a book that I listened to. And I do recommend the listening for this, actually for both of these. Empire of Pain. Did anyone read that by Patrick Radden Keefe? Mm-hmm. It's about the Sackler family who developed OxyContin. OxyContin. And it is so fascinating and gives you such I loved hearing him read it because I actually finished it in print, and if I had to choose, I'd definitely listen to the author because the inflection is important. There are a lot of players. Fascinating book. Highly recommend. I think every single med student and nursing student should read that book. And then The Flat Share was my lovely surprise fun book this summer. It's by Beth O'Leary, British author. The premise is that there are 2 people living in London. Neither of them can afford to have a flat on their own, and so they meet each other through Facebook or whatever. And the idea is he works the night shift as a nurse, and she works the day shift. And so they share this flat, assuming they will never meet. Ooh. And that's all I will tell you. And it's a delightful book, and it's not just frothy. There's just a lot of good subplots going on. So The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary.
How many of you are DNF readers?
Do not finish?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You mean how do we DNF?
Yeah, you start a book and you're like, this is not going to put it down.
I didn't used to be, but I
didn't used to be. If I started it,
same.
I've
had to learn that.
No, it was assigned to me by a professor.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
no. I would also say I listened to a book called Benjamin Stevenson. Everyone on this train is a suspect.
Mm.
Have anybody?
No.
And his first book was Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. And I highly recommend listening, not reading, because it's set in Australia and the narrator is Australian.
Yeah.
And they're sort of like Murder on the Orient Express kind of books, right? Where the story is happening and oops, someone dies. And the author very often breaks the third wall to explain how he's not deceiving the reader, and like, like he'll say things like, usually in a murder mystery, the murderer has been mentioned 37 times, and then he'll list all the characters and how many times he's mentioned.
Oh, funny.
It is absolutely, both of those books are so delightful.
Okay, good
And he has
recommendation.
he has a Christmas book coming out.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, so he's going to be on the Killer Author Club in December.
Oh my gosh.
I'll find the title, but it's a Christmas.
I love all of them. And they're
Great.
just so fun to listen to. Chad and I like literally would just sit in our house, and because we didn't finish it. So we just would sit here quietly and listen to this man read us this.
That's awesome. I love it.
Because our travels did not, sync up to getting the book done. So
it's called Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret, and it comes out in I believe October. So,
oh my
Wow.
yeah,
I'm in. I'm so in on that one. Okay. Nicole talked a little bit about a new hobby with her gelato, right?
Yes, gelato. Yep.
Making. Did anyone else come up with a new skill or hobby this summer?
No.
Tracy, no crochet, no new needle pointing skills.
Anybody make anatomically correct Cabbage Patch dolls?
Callie, is
it
a legacy?
I knew that was going to come up again at some point.
It is a legendary story. It should be on our merch. It should be on our
Oh
merch.
my gosh. Listen, right before I got on, my teenager Thea said, oh wait, is this the group where you learned about anatomically correct Cabbage Patch dolls? I said, yes, it is. Yes, a very important skill.
No Cabbage Patch dolls. I have started a very weird new hobby. So like Kim was saying, not working, and I just unplugged from everything this summer. And I did something I haven't done in so long. I indulged in a hobby, and it's,
I can't wait to.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Like miniature houses.
What?
So I built an entire house. Yeah.
What are you talking about right now?
And it's the Up House from the movie Up.
I love that.
In miniature scale. It's like 1/24th scale.
Nice.
So I've got the exterior done, and now I'm working on the interior. Teeny tiny like wallpaper and flooring and painting trim. I'm so blind anyway. It's like my bifocal.
That sounds hard. That sounds
It's very hard, but I love it that it's not something that has a deadline. It's not monetized. I don't have to answer to anyone about it. It was just purely a weird, fun little hobby I started.
So you're not going to enter it in the state fair. That's my favorite room, is the room.
I am. My goal is either 2025 or 2026.
Oh my gosh, we're all going.
I will go.
We are all going.
Yes.
Plan on
We
it,
are
girls.
there. We will film live the Story
Oh my
Society
God.
of Iowa from the state fair.
I love this idea. And
July,
I'll buy you all
Yeah.
Botter's chocolate
I don't know
ice
if
cream
I'll be able to get it
sandwiches.
done for next summer because a lot of the furniture and stuff you have to build and upholster yourself.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's a kit that you buy, and then it requires all this.
I have bought the kit. It was accidental. I years ago when my daughter was little, I bought what I thought was a dollhouse. I was going to build it for Christmas and buy dolls for her to play with it, but the scale I bought was too small. So I bought the actual one, put it together. She played with it, but I always had this little bitty kit that I never put together, and my husband kept wanting to throw it away. And I was like, I bought it. I paid money for it. And he's like, you're never going to do anything with it. So during COVID, I put it together. I assembled the whole house. And once I got it done, then I was like, well, I don't know what to do with it. And my son happened to be walking by, and he goes, it looks like Carl's house from Up. And I was like, okay, could I? I don't know. All right. So here we are.
Okay,
So
we are
but I
in.
have to build a lot of the furniture. Some I can order, some I have to build and customize. But yeah.
That's amazing. And Kelly, I didn't see it coming. I did not think you would say that.
No,
I love it.
The only hobby that I came up with is we have had a tree planted 4 different times in the same spot and it dies every time.
Oh,
So
shoot.
all I do is water that tree.
That's your hobby.
Tree. Try to keep it alive. Is my only hobby.
You can't enter that at the fair, Julie.
I cannot.
No.
I cannot.
Is it
I
still
tried to
alive
call.
now?
It is at this moment alive. But
Okay.
the last one seemingly was alive, and then I swear that I got up and it was just dead the next day. And so every day I go out and I tend to it and look
Yeah.
at its leaves,
Talk to it.
talk to
Okay.
it. So
Okay.
far, so good. Yikes! It is thunderstorming here in Ames, Iowa. All of a
Oh,
sudden.
I think it's
I heard
yeah,
it.
you've got something rolling in. Nicole, how is it at your place now?
Well, it's cleared up. I faded away to nothingness. I don't know if you guys saw that. My ring light is broken.
Oh,
So I tried to use natural light. That didn't work. And now I have like you could land an airplane on my forehead.
you're luminous. You're luminous.
You're glowing. You're glowing.
You need to hold a flashlight up and tell us it
Here.
goes.
Oh no.
Heather or Kim, do either of you have hobbies? Any hobbies you've done recently or years ago?
I joined a cult, apparently.
Oh,
Okay, that beats mine.
Yeah, no.
share.
It's called
Share your
pickleball.
cult story.
You're a pickleballer.
Oh, yes.
And apparently
That's
it's a cult. I've learned.
That's a
It's like
socially
acceptable.
acceptable cult.
They say
Yeah.
that 1 in 6
Yeah.
people is in the pickleball cult, so that plays
Wow.
out in the group.
Yeah, it's really fun. I really am having a lot of fun. But man, it's intense when you get with a certain group. I went to the Y last week, and boy, first time to play, and wow,
They're
it's
in it.
intense.
Yeah.
They're in it to win it, and it's
Yeah.
fun. It is fun, but I'm a newbie, so I'm learning.
I want to try it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Also, we have a comment here from Catherine that all 6 of us need to be in the butter cow exhibit. I think this would be okay. I think I put my time in at the fair.
Yeah.
You can honor
I
me.
feel like you should be.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
and
you should
all
be
of us
sculpted.
have
That's pretty
status
cool.
in the fair.
I feel like this is a safe place to confess that I have never been to the Iowa State Fair.
Nicole Bart,
Nicole.
We're going.
We're going. When
you're
Callie gets
coming.
the doll
You can
house done.
stay with us. Stay with me at my house. We are going to see Callie and Carl's house.
Nicole can bring her camper and we can pull it right up next to Callie.
They don't let you. They don't let you do that. Callie
Oh,
knows
no,
this.
you have to be on the list. The list, I was told this year to get a camping spot at the state fair is 20 years long.
Told ya.
What?
For
Yes.
real?
20 years? Our spots have been in my husband's family for 60 years. His family members will them to each other.
Wow.
I think it's so many. Crack
is
up every
Iowa.
time.
Talk about a cult.
Yeah, that's a
talking
cult.
about a cult.
Yeah. Everybody has need for a cult. That one's a good one.
Guys,
You have to wait a while, though. You have to wait to get into that cult. Pickleball, you can start tomorrow with the Y.
That's right.
Pick your poison.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't join a cult, so that my hobby is kind of lame. Because I am aging and because I am noticing it, I decided I wanted to do some things that I have not done this summer. One was I have done this, but not for 20 years. I trained for a 5K and did it, and it was so fun. The difference was the training, because here's what happens, guys. When you're 22, you can wake up and be like, I guess I'll run a 5K, and there's no training. And when you're 48, no, you don't. So I overtrained for a very short amount of time, but I finished it and felt great. And then the other thing I did, I became my grandmother and got a little bit obsessed with the New York Times weekly puzzle, the crossword puzzle, like the OG. Yes, we get the New York Times on Sunday, and sometimes it takes me a whole stinking week. I just keep plugging along at it, and I don't Google.
You do
And-
pencil or pen?
Oh, pencil with a really good eraser. My grandma did it in pen, but I'm not to that level. I've got 30 years, 50
That's
years to
impressive.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think so.
I'll get in my nursing home with my concert
Quilt!
Quilt. I have to
Bring
learn
your
to quilt.
quilt.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send that to someone.
You could hire out for that.
I feel like I don't have that seems like math, and that I'm
You can't quilt.
definitely not
You're
gonna-
busy keeping your tree alive. You can't
Yes.
start to quilt.
This is true. Any other hobbies? No.
No.
All right. Do we want to talk a little bit about our summer reading bingo?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We have had, there it is. We have had a couple not of returning or turned in bingos. We do have a blackout already, which is so exciting. Which means that not only so I guess we could kind of talk about it now. Are we was this our cutoff, or are we going till the end of summer, or what do we think? Can people
I say we give people a little more time to turn in their bingo card.
Yes, it's Catherine is on here, and she is our blackout bingo.
Yeah, well, she wins something for sure.
Yes. Do you want to show some of you want to show the sticker, the prize for anyone? For those of you that are new to this situation, we were bemoaning the fact that you can't read a list of books and get a free personal pizza anymore in this world that we live in. And so this is what we came up with instead, was this sticker that we would send out for any bingos on our bingo card. And then for any blackout bingos, Heather has some, look at that swag you can choose from.
It's really cute.
So cute. Heather and I are both wearing our t-shirts tonight. You can't really see. You can see kind of. I can't.
Callie has a candle.
Callie has a candle.
It's burning.
Don't
set my office on fire. I cannot figure out how.
That's it. You did it. You're doing it.
Okay.
And then I have the little tumbler, though. It is just with bubbly water tonight. I can't. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Left is right and right is left. It's like one of those metal
problem.
Cute.
And it keeps your water cold. It's very delightful. You can put other things in it, but I'm not.
You're hosting, so we need
I'm
to
hosting.
have
You know, I bet you can put a peanut butter parfait in this.
Oh, not a bad idea.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I say we give to a few more days, just a couple more days for any bingos for the stickers, and then looks like, is it Catherine?
Yep, Catherine is our blackout winner as of right now. So anybody else, and you can look at the bingo card and anything you read this summer. We aren't judgy here at the Story Society. Go back to the annals of your mind.
Be a backlog, yeah. Yes. And how do they submit their cards to us, ladies?
We are accepting just like a screenshot in our DMs. Slide into our DMs. Probably don't say it all anymore.
Don't say that. Yeah. Or they do and it means something sexual. So don't do it.
Don't do that.
DM us.
If that. Yeah. And I guess, Callie, we have any questions? Anybody have anything they'd like to hear about from us, or is anybody?
Nope, I was watching them. I think that was all of them.
All right. Well, I think that make sure, Heather, you go over how we do our giveaways here.
Yeah. So
giveaways.
Yeah. So if you just submit your bingo card, a screenshot of it, send it to one of us, and then we will make sure that you get a sticker. And then Catherine email one of us, and we will make sure you get your swag.
Yes, whichever swag that of your choosing. Mm-hmm. And then for our regular, all of us are giving away a book, I believe, tonight.
Yep.
And those we usually, I can't remember how long we leave that open for rewatching.
Yeah, we want to give them at least a few days. Like, let's say, what's today? Thursday. So maybe Sunday.
Well, it's a holiday weekend, so we can, people peel. I'm sure everyone's going to spend their Labor Day
probably
sitting on the porch and not talking to anyone and watching
us.
Yeah, so we'll do.
And all they have to do is comment in any of our feeds.
Leave a comment.
Yep.
We'll pick those and send a treat to 6 lucky winners.
Yes. Awesome. And I think our follow-up tonight from Callie is a picture of her dollhouse.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Unless you want to wait, because this might be like, I'm just saying, if it's a rough
draft. It's in progress. I'll send a picture.
I'm dying to see it.
I'll
shine.
drop it in the comment section.
I'm so
Are
excited
there
about
going to
this.
be dolls?
I haven't figured out how to recreate Carl and, the little Boy Scout boy.
Yes.
That's down the road.
You will, and we will see it at the fair, and we will be loud. And I'm bringing one of those things that you get real big heads on a stick. Getting your head on a stick. I'm going to be out of control.
I am going to stand. We're going to stand next to it and be like, make sure you vote for the Callies.
I'm going to coerce people.
People's choice. What if you're like grand champion of the fair?
That's
small
pressure.
That's
Man, this
pressure.
pressure. I should have never said this.
No, we love it so much. It's the best hobby ever.
I think that even with the minimal amount of effort, your creativity will shine through in this new venture.
We'll see.
That's right. I'm excited about it.
My tree will probably die, but your dollhouse
Lives on.
All right. I think that might be a wrap for us tonight.
Thank
For
you
our
guys
summer
for joining us.
Thanks
For everyone.
Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight, as usual.
Yeah,
And somebody said they enjoyed my book, The Trail of Lost Hearts, and I'm sorry I saw it pop up and I didn't say anything when I saw it, but thank you. I think it was Catherine.
Yes.
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you, Catherine.
Very good.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. And we'll keep you posted as to when we'll be back again, because I'm sure we will be planning and coming up with some more fun shows.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks,
See you
everyone.
guys.
When I think people, when I dig, when I we love everybody, but they do as we please. Round about those fun people fishing or swimming in the sea. We're always happy, life's for living, that's our philosophy. In the summertime, round about the